So I was about 9 years old when my dad had his hunting accident. Just started 4th grade, was new to public school, and we had a 3-day weekend. And so my dad took my brother on a hunting trip with all my mom's brothers and my grandpa. And well, as far as I remember, I mean, it was a long weekend. My dad and my brother were out of town. And so it was me and two of my youngest sisters at that point, and my mom. And we had pulled out a bed into the living room so we could just watch movies and just kind of chill. And so we were just kind of chilling and watching things. And then my mom came out probably around noonish, a little before, and was like, "Hey, your dad's been in an accident. I need you guys to go pack a bag so you could go stay with your grandma, or my Grammy." And this was a grandma I didn't really know very well for a lot of reasons. So I was kind of surprised to do that because every time we've seen her, it's been just very tense. And so, but when my mom kind of talked through what was going on, I just fell into instant panic mode. My sisters were only about, probably 5, like 2 and 5 when this happened. And so they didn't fully understand what was going on. And I just remember being in instant tears. So anyway, so we got packed up, drove about 45 minutes to an hour to my grandma's house near Denver. Because my dad was being flight for life to the Denver hospital, which was such a blessing because everything happened in Kansas. I remember finally getting to go to the hospital, and we walked in, and my dad is just barely conscious, just on a lot of drugs, and his mouth was all swollen, and he just cords coming out of every part of his body. And my dad just sat there. He prayed for like 20 minutes, which is really ironic because my dad doesn't remember any of this because he was so strung out on a lot of things. My dad was in the hospital for about 2 months, and after everything had kind of gone into play, I just began hearing the stories of what actually was going on behind the scenes. Someone had networked it, so I believe there was a website where people could go check on my dad's progress and figure out, okay, what is the concern for today? What do we need to be praying about? And my mom has the numbers, but there were people praying all over the world for my dad and my family. And I actually learned this later, about a year or 2 after my grandpa died, that as my dad was sitting out in the field in the middle of Kansas, my mom's brother was holding my dad's knees to his chest because that was the only way he could breathe, because of just the fluids and blood that were filling his lungs. And my grandpa was kneeling over my dad praying. And he basically was like, "God, if I could trade my life for this man's, I would." Because this man has 4 kids at home who really needed dad. And my kids are all grown, and these kids need their dad more than mine. And I heard this story, realizing if that hadn't happened, I would have doubted God's existence so much more than I do now. Because from all the stories I hear, everything that I know that happens, there is no doubt that God really does exist.